Alright, it says I'm live. Let me see if that link is working. It's like a 15-second delay or something. Alright, it says I'm live. Alright, I can hear myself, so it's working. Let me then get got the old comment section on the TV, so if you have any questions, charts you'd like me to chart, preferably under $200, let me know. I don't really play with things above $200 like Tesla and I have played Apple, but I mean my whole thing is playing cheap plays that a small account could play and not risk a lot of their account size. So that's what we do. Currently right now there's 0 viewers, so either the link is broken or nobody's coming right now. That's alright though. So on Friday we printed a nice black bar on futures for the 8-hour, coming back to this inside candle here with some volume. It's actually a pretty decent volume. So bull case, this is a back test, possibly a 618 retest from the top. Hold on. Well, technically it'd be a 382. Let's check it out. Nope. Wait. I don't have it turned on. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. Da, da, da. 0.382. Okay. So not quite. But if we come from here to here. Okay, so the perfect back test of the 618 from the most recent closing low and the most recent closing high. You see how I got that? 0, 100, 786, bounce off the 100 down to 618. So A, B, C. And B was truncated with the other A, or the right here. So it's entirely possible that this goes up to the 1272. I don't know. It seemed the one thing I wanted to look at was the call put ratio. No. Put to call. PCC. There we go. So it's pretty flat. Nothing to write home about. It's not like back in March when the puts were at an all-time high. Well, not all-time high, but a very, very high amount. Nope. Just that regular 0.93 puts to calls ratio. But it's just after June 8th when the put call ratio was down to 0.6. So most people were holding calls and spiked up here And basically what this chart is saying is they like to always play into the opposite of who's holding the most. Currently it's flat. I think it can go lower. I mean, that's a pretty, wow. Historically, that is the lowest, or one of the lowest recent put call ratios we've had in a while. Not quite the lowest, but some low. But I think it can go lower. It's just like VXX. You know, everybody's crazy over how good VXX looks. Hit my 272 area and bounced off pretty well. But if I put the negative 382 on there, $25 would be your next area to support. And it just might do it. If we look at a lower time frame, 2 hours is what I was looking at, and the area I wanted to hold for more upside was 3696, and we closed at 36.9. Let's see. 3703 is also equally as good. Looking at this, the close of this black candle was 3703, and the last 2 hours they tapped it and came back down. So at this current moment, it's a no confirmation, unlike down here when they closed this 2 hour candle above this white candle close. It shot up and kept going up, blah blah blah. And to my point on Twitter, I think it was Friday. It was Friday right before it started dropping, and I was like, they would do that as soon as I said we're going higher. No. They popped it, and looking back historically, whenever you see a pop after a big draw or big, so let's go back. December 2018. Crazy year. This is just a 2 hour chart, so it's going to be pretty big, but you get a small pop and then it drops more. Small pop, drops more. And these pops are not small, but in relatively speaking, they are small. You know, one candle is 7%, and then it goes up a total of like 10-15%, and then it drops. And these biggest pops are the ones you want to, you get a wedge, it pops. This is August of 2019. Had a lot of people thinking we were going lower, broke this diamond and back down. In September, back test, back down. So small pops. After you get a big pop, like the one that we had recently, where VXX literally went from $13 all the way to $75. That's a big, if you look at the 3-day chart, that is a big pop, okay? Let's go back. You see December, oh wait, no, this is all 2016. This is the first start of trade war, okay? Pretty big pop back in December 2018. Only contested with that, even though it was some of the biggest, nastiest drop you ever saw. And then we go down further. This inverted cup and handle worked out really well, by the way. If you had bought puts, whenever I drew this the breakout line, the top of the cup and handle, or the bottom in this case, at 28, it's down 50% in like a few months. Anyways, you see this giant pop here. That is from that's the biggest pop we've seen probably in modern history. But you can tell it's still just a downtrend. if it were going to be the end, I would say they would want to build out a base around 29 to make an inverted head and shoulders. It's not going to flag and pop a bunch more. Not that quick. So I think this is going to go down again back to the 25 area, and then maybe a small pop, and then down to 20.8, small pop. Or maybe it won't go that far. But I don't think that Friday was the end of the bull run. 2 inside 3-day chart, or inside 3-day candles. 3-day is just a silly number I picked, but it works. You know, you get an inside candle, it goes down. And you can tell. 3 days inside, goes down. 3 days inside. We take the direction of the candle. And these candles or these arrows are pretty generally right, and that indicator is inside bar visualizer pine V4. Someone was kind enough to make a indicator that just puts 2 little blue lines whenever there's an inside candle. This one was pretty wrong back in 2017, but 2017 was a crazy year from what I hear. It was just buy, down, one false, and then down. Yep. So anyways, let's if you have any chart requests, throw them in the comment section or the chat, whatever that is. Let's see if I can even post anything here. Okay, so that's my bull thesis on why I think we're going higher. You go to IWM, still forming out a little bit of a pennant. It's holding over this volume on the top end of it. SPY, they're down inside of it now. It did close over this candle. We definitely need some good uptrending movement if we're going to go up on come Monday. They back tested this black candle last week almost perfectly. I mean, it was very close. But not quite. It went up, came back tested after the big pop, and I don't know. I think we go back up. I'm not holding a lot into this weekend. I closed most of my positions in case we go down, but there's always the opportunity to get back in. If you want to know what I think when the bear market or whenever the big drop will come, you'll notice a lot of stocks won't be popping 15% in a day. They won't be pulling your Roku. They won't be pulling your Spotify. None of that. You know, they're your stocks that were down to 52-week lows won't be hitting new 50 all-time highs, actually. Square. How many people wanted to short it more? At $40, I said, keep buying it. Just keep buying it. Told everybody I knew, buy stocks at this price. Now it's over doubled. Square will continue breaking out, I'm sure. Either that or they'll form a handle and go further, but I don't. One of the big reasons I wanted to do this was I wanted to show people exactly what I mean when the market echoes itself, okay? Pins is currently what I'm calling a market leader. Okay, it doesn't really lead the market. It has no weight in the S&P practically. It's what the market will do given time. So you see this highlighted pattern, the pop, drop, and then pop to new all-time highs. Something like Square, it doesn't do anything like what the market's doing. It actually did it back here. Pop, drop, and then run. That's a stock I missed. But, Chug, what a great stock. So currently we popped, we dropped, we hit some support. Where do we go from here? Well, we need to get out of this blue box. We need to hit all-time or new highs, or else we'll just keep chopping. There's a possibility that we come down and hit, if we go back to ES, there's a possibility we come down and hit these two volume nodes right here. 3013 and 29. No. Okay. 3024, 3013. These two highlighted volume nodes. Possibility. If it gaps down there, it's a chance it recovers. We'll see. But like I pointed out earlier, this is a pretty decent volume that it stopped right at, so we could form inside play here, keep chopping up bulls and bears until we get the actual move. Well, I'm going to start doing some charts. My favorite one is Baba. It is really poised to go very high. This is actually what Options Locator on Twitter had posted, was the back test of this candle right here. Twice now it's back tested. Where does that line come from? Well, if I go back here, you can see this white indicator candle as support. There's also a black one here. The close was slightly lower. But you can tell that this 220.34 is a very important level. If we open below it on Monday and don't recover it, it can mean that we go down to test 207 and possibly 199. Possibly. I don't think that'll happen, but if we open below and can't recover 220.34, it will go lower. But if we hold it and say break above 222.34 ish, so I'll throw that candle or that line up there now. If we break above 222.43, should see all-time highs. This is just a classic V. I mean, it's left shoulder, head, right shoulder, pop. And this market has been taking inverse head and shoulders very high. I had 260 calls for July, maybe a little bit out of the money, but 250 is definitely possible by July 17th. That's this far. And even if you just made a little channel. There we go. One second. Okay, so if it continues in this uptrend, the lowest possible number by July 17th would be 245. If it continues in that uptrend. If it breaks this channel and doesn't recover it, it'll go down. Still liking it though. PFE, this is one I've been on for a few days now, and I have September calls for 40. Now $40 is about right here, right under this line, right above that line. It's a very important line. It's been touched a few times, and if I pull up the 1430, I think I had one. Let's see. Change the parameters of the MA cross to make a copy. There we go. 1430. Rename it the 1430 MA cross. And save. Add to chart. There we go. So, I'm sure you guys have all heard of the vacuum by Trading Ninja. Whenever it crosses, it does the pull down thing. Well, if you look at where it crossed, it's kind of peculiar. This crossing point is where you will see, let me turn this magnet off. You will see an area of support or resistance. So crosses here, right at 39, gets back up there and fails. So now, going back down to this cross, a lot of support here. And it looks like a crappy bear pennant, looks like it could just go lower. But, if my money's right, it starts pulling up. It gets back up here to 39. There's a my calls will be very profitable. But there's also a very good chance it continues breaking out to this area up here of 43. September, that's what? 3. 3 months away. 3? July, August, September. 2 months away. I'm a trader, not a calendar expert. Very good chance that this bounces here. I'd say if we go down to the 2 hour, I'd say if we get even above 33.6, 33.9 was my number the other day. Oh yeah, because of this big volume node. Over 33.9, and PFE is on his way back up to 39. Explaining volume, by the way I see it is that whenever there's a big candle, the closing price of that candle is a very crucial number. The whole candle itself is important, but as you can see here, the closing price of this big red candle, 35.53. On June 11th, it opened above it, did a little, maybe we will, and then it went below. At that point, you can short it minus 4.26%. That was when everything started pulling down. We got some more big volume. So now the next biggest volume here is, actually looks like we closed above it. Yes, we did. The next biggest volume here is at 33.42. Okay, 33.4, and we closed at 33.42. If I had to guess, we'll pop above on Monday and continue up. As soon as we get above 35.53, then we can really see the stock move fast, and people will be like, wow, PFE is pretty good play. It's like I gotta make sure. No, it's just my morning pull completing. Okay. There's a good chance that this pops. So let's look at some other stocks. SPCE. See the resistance here at 17.26. Everybody thought it was going to pop last week. It didn't. I thought it was going to pop, or I'm sorry, the week before last. And then I thought it was going to pop last week. It didn't. So what are we looking for? I mean, this little area here of 15.5 is resistance, but it's holding 14.28. Let's take away the indicators so you can't be bogged down. I mean, it's currently still just making a wedge. Very nice deep wedge, but it can also be a descending triangle, so under 14.28 and this thing goes straight back to $10. No questions. And then it double bottoms and probably launches like a rocket. I'm going to stay away until we get over that trend line. IQ, that was a nice big pop. And then on Thursday, I called for some $25 calls. We called them too early. They ended up going from 0.51 is where I called it down to like 0.3 something. So I closed it to keep gains or keep capital, preserve capital. That's what I was looking for. But sure enough, they held that 24 area. And you can see every time it drops below and it's recovered, this is where I called. Actually, right here is where I called for the calls, and they went up, and then they did a little lip down, and then pop on Friday. Hey, look, it's people coming out with the chart requests. Let's do it. KRUS. Semiconductor. Needs to hold 61.75. If it can do that, then it can pop up to 67 area. And if it does that, oops. Yeah. Oh man, that's kind of an interesting thing I just found, that whenever the 1430 cross, you get a sort of level of support and resistance. This one's a little bit lower, actually, but you can see on the 3-day, whenever it crosses, it's there. Needs to get over $70 if it wants to go higher, like to all-time highs. But in the near term, it looks like it's filling that gap. And go below, fill the gap. It needs to recover 61.75 to go higher. Yep. GNW. Oh, a penny stock. I feel like somebody asked me about. No, it wasn't this one. Big red volume. If it can't recover 2.77, it won't go higher. It'll just continue going lower. Yep. It's not looking great. These big volume candles here, that is not someone buying, that is someone selling because it's going lower. it's going lower. They confirmed below this green candle on Friday by closing lower below it. So it should gap down. If they can't recover 2.7, it won't go higher. CPRI. I feel like I've traded this one before. I have. There's a couple lines up here. Back when it wasn't so low. And they went down to $5 and popped up 200% after that. Pretty impressive. It almost looks like a magnet, 14.3. It's in line with the Thandicator candle, this big volume. If it magnets down to there, then we want to recover. We got this big green candle here. So 14.5 area, CPRI needs to hold. It's got that gross looking head and shoulders look, but when the head and shoulders is denied, if it is, then this one can pop, apparently. Would like to see it recover. $17.2 for it to go higher. Over 17.2 can take you to, well, there's earnings coming up too. So I think it can go. Honestly, this might be a really good play if it gets down to that 14.3 volume area. Gets down to there, earnings comes, pop 10%. Michael Kors. Oh, okay. 33. Alright, let's check out MORF. And good morning, Sako Taco. It's a pretty sweet stock. That looked like a big volume pop. Yeah. So what you would do here is put a line up there. The 2 hours. Wow, in the last 4 hours of the day. Wait. Even better than that. It was like the last hour of the day. Need to see them recover 26.94 to go higher. As in, like, it can go below, can do this inside 2 hours things for Monday, but once it goes over 26.94, it should go higher. Probably to all-time high, honestly. Yep. Let's check some other charts that I had here. AMD. Ugh. I took a hefty 50% loss, and I really do think it's coming next week. But a 50% loss is better than a whole 100% loss. I've learned that the hard way. And just look at all the crosses right here. If we just get rid of the magnet, go from the bottom cross here to this top cross, you can see just how important this area is. So, from the bottom cross, they went below, recovered, popped, dropped, giving everyone that false breakout feel. and now it's still holding that area very tightly, right above it, in fact. This goes next week, but I will buy, let's see, earnings is July 17th, so the 16th. Earnings is the 16th, so we go to my calls list. AMD's weekly. Yes, that is definitely the pure definition of a cup and handle. The problem is the handle has been from April 16th, so every guess at when it's going to go is a hard guess. But, I mean, this is very solid consolidation. Somebody wants this thing to go higher. If they didn't, it would have dropped by now back down to this channel retest. I mean, you can see this is a pretty deep channel from December 2018 all the way down to here. So if they wanted it, they would have taken it by now. But there's a lot of volume support here. Right here around $50. Every time it drops below, it's an instant pop, instant pop. So let's go to AMD and check it out. The July 10th options is what I would play. And $60 is 74. So the $60 call would take us to all-time high. It's $74 right now, and in the money they would be $250. So it's a pretty decent risk reward. Depending on how Monday opens up, I will probably decide to get some more of those with more time. I might even go as far to go to $61 because they're just a little bit cheaper and I can buy 3 without feeling like I'm oversizing a position. Ions. Another very good cup and handle look. Big volume on Friday. Closing over much resistance after recovering the previous close. And this one here. That can go up to sorry, I've got morning hand. I can't control the mouse as good as I like. It looks like it can go to 62.28. Big volume there. It's a magnet. It's oh man, I'm pointing with my finger, but if you look right here, look where that cross is. I'm not a 1430 guy, I'm really not, but looking at this cross right now, it's pretty cool how the cross represents a level that you'd want to see. And if you see here, a cross, it's, we'll just put a line right there. You see how it's held above it for the past week, and a nice hammer right there. People would call that a hanging man, just because that is the candle it is at the top of a trend, quote, 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 whatever. But it's a hammer with big volume. It's going to go higher to 62. I like that one. Amazon, not something I would trade just because premiums are so high and none of my options go above $100, so I have to play very far out of the money. Oh man. This is going to be a don't fight the trend chart. It's going up, so you're buying calls. These little gross reversal looking candles, they will continue popping up. Until this channel is broken to the downside, it will keep going up. Now if you look at the weekly, it's gone parabolic. I mean, the MAs are going straight up. The next level of resistance is like 18, or I'm sorry, support would be previous all-time high at 2030. So if we ever do get a drop, buy some out of the money Amazon puts. But yeah, everything I look at, it's like $2,000 is the next support besides this 2300 area. So it'll keep going up. Like I said, that is something I would not trade just because you could lose a lot of money. Another one I wanted to look at was IWM, because this is the market bar for it's going up or down. Now the big thing, one of the big reasons that we had our sell in June event that I was looking for at the beginning of June, is because we backtested this channel of years. This is a log scale chart of IWM. This is a channel. I think it's my main picture on Twitter still, but I do need to update it. We broke below it in February, March time. Broke below it, recovered, and then we bounced back up to touch that channel again. So what happens when we recover and close above that channel in this month? If we do, we will see all-time highs in IWM. Pretty much a fact. Because that will be a big false breakdown. Big. You can see that they haven't broken down or above this channel in years. So the fact that it even came up and touched it is a sign that the market is strong. You do not want to mess with that. However, if we go back below 135, we can see some more downside. I think I'm hearing cats outside. Yes, I'll check pen. Oh yeah, there's cats outside. I live in Ohio, a very small 2,500 person town in Ohio, so there's all kinds of hillbilly white trash like me. My porch is cluttered with stuff, so I'm not above anybody. But I don't own a cat. 1430. Not really doing anything for us except for this area here. 31.68. We'd like to see it hold. And this 29. We would like to see it hold. But that is a pretty tight triangle right there. Toledo! Yeah, I'm in the, I was born and raised in the Lorain County. Now I live in Huron. But every town I've lived in has been like less than 10,000 population. So it's been the state that doesn't, it's like not like the rest of the world, you know. New Hampshire. Yeah, I lived in Massachusetts for 2 years, so I know all about those people. It's pretty hectic compared to Ohio, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, I like this triangle though. This every chart you look at, you will see it's still an uptrend. Okay, there's no higher highs or anything. This here on VXX, yes, it's a higher high with a currently lower low. So we're almost in a state of limbo between 41.8 and 29. So it's like a $10 range. We're right in the middle of it. So what do you? Well, there's a reason that the put call ratio is at 1. 1-to-1 odds that it goes up or down. So right now we're playing with, what does it look like it's going to do, or how does it feel like it's going to do? I resisted writing a blog this week about the market going higher because I had written at the beginning of June a blog where the market would go lower. When we got that lower, I was looking for a sell in June, then we moon event, and we got our sell. We're not mooning yet, but we're in limbo. So I'm waiting for something. That's why I went to cash. Even though I feel like it's going to go up, it doesn't look entirely like it's going to go up. Michigan's pretty cool. I got family in Michigan. So coming back to SPY, you can see that 315 is the area to beat. And 313 was the one that I was like, if we get over 313, we're going. Now I can see why 315 is the area to beat, because we came up here, we tested it, and we failed. And now we're in this slumpy looking downtrend with a higher low or a lower high, yada yada. Okay, I'll tell you what I think about that, Sacco. Hold on. Let me get back to my screen. I had this VXX chart. I did this in April 28th. Right here. Right when it back tested the A wave. On this day, I said VXX will go to 29. I had it charted. I was ready for it. People thought the end was coming in May, mid-May. They said, oh, sell in May, here we go. It came up a couple days and then failed the trend line. And then it went, this is an old chart, by the way. This is a different, let me go to my other layout. But analysis on VXX is correct if done properly. Okay, this one's not any better. Yeah, I had it going into the 29 area around here, and then it wound up, yeah. It didn't go, it popped, and I was like, oh man, if I move this trend line, or this fib here, I was like, oh, that's the, move please, there we go. I brought this the zero fib down to here, and I was like, oh man, it's coming, here's the pop, and it actually retested this zero here, and then went back down. So I was like, okay, let's change that line back to here. So I went back to there, and sure enough, it came down, went below 29, recovered 29, made some confirmation above 29, and it popped. I don't think so. I don't, but it's, oh, is it the futures? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it is. See, with VIX or VXX, it's an ETF. So it's just like SPY. It's an ETF. It reverse splits, and so it lets you know, it's constantly in downtrend. But if you go to VVIX, VVIX, it's sideways. You can't chart this. This is like the put-call ratio. So whenever it's high, what do? You buy. Whenever it's low, you sell. Or I'm sorry, whenever it's high, you buy stocks. Whenever it's low, you sell stocks. So you can see in February, yes, volatility of the VIX. Yeah, okay. Somebody told me about this. One of my friends on Twitter, somebody I'd interacted with, they told me about VVIX. So we'll just put that on my watch list just because. But when it's high, what do? You buy stocks, okay? So it's the highest reading since March. But yet, the market is at, I mean, it's 300 points below all-time high. Why would you sell here? There's this other thing, somebody on Twitter, Thug Barum, he's super good. He actually helped me a little bit. He watches this thing called the DIX, and it's from these guys, Squeeze Metrics. Maybe it's from somewhere else, but if you go to Squeeze Metrics, it printed the highest in history DIX, okay? And I think it's dark pool, like the dark pool index, essentially. So like people are buying when the DIX is high, and it printed its highest amount on Friday, okay? And Friday looked bad. Everybody thought the sell is coming on Friday. Why would people be buying if the selling was coming? So I'm thinking next week is a big week. Next month is a big month. And then they can take the trend sideways until the election. So we pop up here, even by December or August, up here to all-time highs. We'll probably go higher than all-time highs, actually. Or meaning, we'll see new all-time highs in SPY by the election. Why? Because Trump. It's ridiculous, but it's just what it is. Just do a quick fib retracement. 3,700 is the target. How stupid is that? And that's what people keep thinking, and something I keep tuning out. COVID's on the rise again. There's riots. There's, America's just, it's the worst it's ever been. There's all these Robin Hooders. They're buying stuff. There's how much bad news have you heard in the past month, and the market still goes up? We consolidate for a week, and people think it's over, it's done. The bad news is finally hitting. Well, let me tell you why I don't think that's true. So in February, we dropped because of COVID, right? Quote, and that was going to be the end of capitalism and markets and da-da-da-da-da. But it went up. And now we're going towards all-time highs during all this bad news. The market does not make sense with the news. It doesn't. Not anymore. We get a trade war, and we consolidate for a year. Everybody thinks it's over, and then it goes up. Every breakdown that we have from every trend line is recovered, and it goes higher. Because that's what we are now, is we're a false breakdown nation. But it's not even a false breakdown. It's retesting some support. Like I told people, I'm trying to get this out of the way, it was too late because I wasn't actually using my indicator back then. But this line right here, 2180.75, it's a mere, the low is 2174. It's 6 points off of the bottom. Okay, this white candle here, support. So that's why I'm so big on using the Thandicator. It's called that. Somebody named it. Whatever, but it's effective. It's an MA on, let me see. So it's the, hold on. The black line there is the 20 moving average on the 30 RSI. So whenever the 30 RSI is above it, you buy. When it's below it, you don't necessarily sell, but it has a black candle, and you would sell, so to speak. Now, this is a 2-week time frame, so it's pretty laggy, but that's how it works. Okay, it's all it is the white candle and the black candle. It's just whenever the 30 RSI crosses over the moving average, the 20 moving average of the RSI. Has nothing to do with price. Big white candle here, 24.33, and it goes up. Black candle and it doesn't go down, that's called a false breakdown. See here? Black candle went down, recovered, and it went higher. Very much higher. How much higher? It went from, after recovering, it went from 29.40 to 32.30. 200 points from a false breakdown. I think people are too convinced that we're going to go down, and that shouldn't be your thought process. You should wait for your proper setup in your uptrend, which is what I did not do. I wanted to get in beforehand, which was bad old practices, and play your best setup. The best setups are coming, but this consolidation is just wrecking people. Yeah, exactly. There's the good news will always outweigh the bad news every single time until it doesn't, and then you just, everybody says this market's so hard to trade, and sometimes that's true because it's not as easy as it once was, but it's still the same. You follow the volume, you follow the big fish. You just got to be better at reading how the big fish swims. Piton, it's just melting up. I don't even know when I dropped these fibs, but it's just made on the indicator candles. I think it could pull back soon, but the next level up, there we go. The next level up is 57. KHC. Actually, I've heard that name a few times recently. Look at that. See, that's what I'm saying, is that this is a big level. A huge level. I know that as soon as I look at this right here, because this is when I was playing it. Big volume here. Huge. Over 35. And this is gonna fill this whole gap right up to 47. So if you guys chart, keep your drawings, because when you come back and you see, oh yeah, there's this blue bar here of consolidation, you'll know that this is a big important level. And then you look even deeper and you can see how many times has this failed this, and now after this breakdown and recovery, that is when your stock is the strongest every time. Let's look at some calls. Kraft Foods. And also, this is a Warren Buffett pick back at $47. I don't know if he even dropped that one or not. But that's what I'm saying, is that, markets are changing, and value stocks they go down and they recover and then they come back, and it's hard to trade. January $40 calls are $98 right now. A call that is 6 months away, $100 each, for something that will potentially be $8 in the money. I don't know how to do risk reward or whatever, but that's a possible 8 times play for 8 to 1. That's so that makes sense. 8 to 1 risk reward. You risk 100, possibility of 800. That's a good play. I should probably put that on my radar, because it's cheap, or it's a cheapy stock too. That's all I play. Yeah. Oh, that's true. It's coming up on the ER, and it's above this volume. Oh, man. I don't see a world where this doesn't work out. So we'll keep that on the hush. Ugh. So we've got support down at 90, resistance up at 97. But if MDT gets over $97, it will go to 120 fast. Look at how fast it bounces. So from 72 on March, and by April 9th, by March 24th, by April 9th, it's 50% up. And this whole consolidation is probably an ABC. Oh, man. Another thing that people don't think works is Elliott wave, but it does. You just got to know where to put your lines and whatnot. So if it's an ABC, ABC. B truncated. C would come back down to 90-ish, which it has already. Hold on, let me put this right here. 90.5. Hit this little cross support here, and now it's right off the 100 area, or the 1.0. Oh man, I had calls for July too, and I sold them Friday. When the market pops Monday, I'm going to be upset, but I'm going to be happy that I was on it beforehand. Alright, let's look at Roku, because this is a stock I played, made $250, missed out on a potential $1,200. This is going to $250. $230 at least. Okay. This is Elliott wave. So we go 1, 2, 3. 3 is a big pop from $26 to $175. Big 3-wave. Pull back to 4, which does not close below wave 1. Okay, I mean this is the impulse chart to look at. So wave 5 is measured to be the same as wave 1. Yeah. Did you grab those 240s then for January? Because I did not have the capital for it, but they are doubles now, and I am mad upset. But they are going to go close to the money and be worth probably thousands. I am upset. Oh man. Let's see. The BNTX. Put this back on auto, back on candles. It's a big line right there. Oops. Oh, man. Nice. So this area here has been big resistance. Wait a minute. Oh, this is Roku still. Ha! I was like, man, this looks like it's about to go hard. BNTX. Oh, man. This is tight. Very tight. This looks like one of those crazy stocks. You know what's funny about stocks like this? They don't stop going up. They just don't. You think this is going to go down, but it won't. I just started, people were asking my opinion, like, oh, what about Roku? What do you... And, or they post a chart, and I'm like, dude, Roku, it's going to go hard. So there's certain stocks that behave like certain stocks, and I can't even think of other stocks that look like this, but they just go chug. CHGG. By the way, what that needs to go up is it needs to get over 53.64. Oh, PFE's doing a COVID vaccine? No wonder they're about to pop. Okay, over 53.5. Close. This goes. I believe. To probably 82. Nice. I thought PFE did other stuff, but man, a COVID vaccine would be sweet. Make $1,000 on Monday. Let's see. Oh, okay. Let me go to CHGG. So, just go to the weekly. It never goes down. Okay, it just doesn't. Giant pop recently, and everybody was like, "Oh, did you play CHGG?" No, I didn't know about it. There's so many stocks that I don't know about, and I wish I did, because this is just this one's classic. Got a trend line, white candle above the trend line, big pop, huge pop on the weekly. Yeah. And let's see here, got above this one. It popped above, it made this gap here above this volume, and you just knew. Yeah. Anyways, I was actually looking at this one recently, and there was two lines I wanted to see get popped through. That was this 65.45, and then the one that was going to make me sell was 60. Was it 63? No, it was this whole candle here. So 62.1, and I put that here. So it went below, came back, recovered, and then went below again. So you short it, and then it recovers the line that has it going down, and then it prints an inside candle. And look at that. Look at where it opened up. Right at 64.45. The open is literally 64.44. So whenever it recovered that line, 8% was no big deal. Such a miss. Hard miss. Here's another chart. Win. And this is, I think I played this like once or twice in my life. But this big blue line is big time support. Huge. because you can see here it broke, or it came, bounced off of it, went below it, recovered it, and now it's back testing it. 127 is the target. Oh, I hate eBay. I've tried to short it twice in the past month and I failed. Where did I go wrong? I tried to short it because it's strong. I knew it was strong, but I still doubted it. Big new. I actually I made like a few $100s off of this pop here, and then it came down. I thought it was time to short. I was like, there's this big black candle. You draw a trend line, it's down. So now you've got big volume on a red day, and it's just below this volume here. Could be time, but if it goes over 49, let's see where we go. I'm just going to change these fibs right now. The highest the indicator close in this area, and then the lowest would be this. The target is 53.18 if it goes over 49. Oh, 2.272 is what I need to look at. Oh, dude, that sucks. You know what's funny about people on FinTwit is that there are people who don't talk, don't do anything, and they work, they make money. So you're over here, like you trade this stuff. From what I know, you're not like a big name on Twitter, and all the people are just blabbing out like, I'm out here chatting and I suck at trading. All I'm good at is what the chart looks like. But it gets to all of us, man. I mean, so many times I've sold before. I mean, just like this Friday, I sold a bunch of my calls because they were at my risk tolerance. I didn't want to lose more. I wanted to preserve capital. But I still think they're going to pop off next week or the week after. If it starts going next week, don't fight the momentum though, because it will be a big green candle, and then the week following will be consolidation sideways, followed by another pop. I think it can. Bitcoin. Everybody's got their panties in a bunch about Bitcoin. I mean, it's right there. It's so ready. As soon as they recover, man, they don't stop. It's funny how when you find something and then it just works everywhere. MA cross with a little bit of area. Broke below, recovered, and now it's holding. And it's about to cross up. So watch out for Bitcoin. Bitcoin can go to $14,000 on this push. I said it. Write it down. I mean, there's this little area at 11,000, but if it breaks out above 10,000, it's going to 14,000 quick. Disney finished its vacuum up to the 14 or the 30, because that's the slower moving one. And if we go to the daily, nothing there. 4 hour. Oh man, dude, BA went so ham out of nowhere, and I missed all of it. So many trades you'll miss. the market is why. I mean, my one thing that got me back on track was I was down to like $100, and MU popped from 46 here all the way up to 51. Wait, was that last week? Might have been the week before. I think it was the week before. Look at the daily. Yeah, it was right here. It was this candle. And then the next day did this. I bought some more calls and it went up. Yeah. I played it right here for a few $100s. It was a really good trade for me. And buy some more time. Would have been deep in the money. They're consolidating right above this big volume, 49.54. MU will go. I mean, nothing looks bearish to me. Okay, and that might just be the perma bull in me, but let me look at TLRY, because that was one that I wanted to get long, and it was very disappointing. It's still above this. What was it, a 2-hour candle, I think, or 4? I think it was a 4-hour candle. Oh, I had it on my other layout. Oh, what did I do? Okay, so this green line here was the long trigger. Let me turn these inside bars off. It was the long trigger. It went up, closed above it, and then it failed below it. So, currently disappointing. Oh, that's why, because it's red here. But technically, I think I had it on the opening price. Put it on the closing price, and it's still below it. Boo! Although, we are still above this big green volume. Cost. Man, you guys give me the worst charts sometimes. Oh man. Okay. The monthly needs to recover 307. Or, I'm sorry, it needs to recover 307. 307's right about here. This could be the breakdown before it recovers. Here's another time when the indicator coincides with what we need. 307.5. How much chop has been through that level? Up and then down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So now we've got this wedge. It breaks down below it, holds this level. Supported by volume here. Let's see about finding that MA cross I made. I just got a 1430. That works. It's holding above this cross here, this support. In fact, it broke down below it, down below, up above, holding that line. This is something that can launch off. Yeah. Well, see, that's what they do. They make you think it's over, the stock's going down, it broke down below level. It broke down below this trend line. So it's time to short cost now, right? Well, if you did it here before the 11th, which everything dropped, then yes, you were right. But if we're holding above support after breaking down one day, could be time to launch, because everybody thinks this is the false breakout because it crossed over a trend line and then fell back down, which in the short term they were right, but in the long term this is the false breakdown, or sorry, a false breakout, and then this is a false breakdown. Yes, exactly. So it's another one that I can see a bearish or a bullish side to. It's just like PFE. Thug was actually on this one on Twitter, calling for $180 calls for like September. I think he's too far expiry. I think he can go closer. But this one broke down. Okay, it's nasty. Doesn't look good. Let's go to 4 hour. Let's go 2 hour. Okay, not seeing anything on the 1430 besides this cross here. It held. This one will make itself more evident soon. Yeah, so here's the cross on the 3-day, right at my 1.0 level, which I don't remember where I set these fibs at, probably a long time ago actually. And it's holding right there. 3 days up and then rejection. It's these it's all these stocks that they did inside days down. It's got everybody bearish. You know, I think this one. Okay, so it's the same high, and then it went down, recovered, and then failed. You know, it's this whole thing of where's it going? You need to have clear, concise levels, so it needs to get above 147, 148, and this one will go to like 172 ish. Let me just get the actual fib going. Where's mine? Oh, here we go. Nope. 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 Alright. I just have to add it. .272 is 163, and then the 2.618 is 170. So there's your targets. 163 if it gets over 147, I would actually say. Oh, I think July is going to be a crazy month. It's going to make people want to keep shorting and don't follow that. mRNA. I think after this one I might hop off. But it has been good. You've been giving me a lot of good charts to look at, and it's helping me see what I see. It's holding $60 support here. Myrna. I remember hearing about this one back here at 23. Thinking, oh, it's just one of those penny stock pops. It's actually holding pretty good. This is one of those stupid stocks that won't stop going up. Like REGN. Like an early day REGN. I hate REGN so much. Look at that, 8% on Friday. This is not what you see in a bear market, okay? So even though, because everybody will be like, it's a bear market, it was down 20%. Elliott Waves, there's an Elliott Wave book I listen to. It doesn't, it's like, don't stick to hard prices like 20%. And stuff like that. You want to... Oh crap, hold on a sec. No, I didn't. I tweeted the link, but I didn't put it in any Discords. There we go. Yeah, 20, like sticking with 20% is a bear market. It doesn't work. Because in a bear market, things go up more than they go down, but when they go down hard. When you go back to 08, and I mean, it was just the classic bear market. Did the head and shoulders and then dropped, and then it did a bear flag up to support and then dropped, and a bear flag up to that support and then big drop, huge drop. Look at how gnarly that support is though. Across here, across there, 2011 comes down, everybody's losing their pants, thinking it's going down while the smart people are buying. And it goes up, and then it crosses above this, and it's just up. Up, 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 up. 2016 was a weird time, though. Yeah, it's all weird. You go, if you, go to the monthly, and you just do a classic expanding triangle. If we could just remove all this other crap. No, not that one. It went above and then broke down. So imagine if we go higher to 3,700, that's 2021. The breakdown would be significant, but I don't know. Oh wait, there we go. Well, that's a thing too. Yeah, one sec, I'll check that out. We're back testing this expanding triangle off the top here. Right here at 3,200. So no wonder we're pulling back, you know. There's so many things that are holding us from great new highs. And it's not news. It's consolidation, it's volume. Don't be the bear who was early. Alright, let's check out 99. Do they... Okay. 99 to 01. Oh, I'm missing some... There we go. So it was just like a blow off, and it just kept going, and then slowly dripped down. Markets are wild, man. They're so wild, in fact, that they got everybody believing that it's time to go down. What is happening to my charts right now? Feels like somebody messed up my chart. Or is this... What is this? Why is this like this? Okay. Oh. You know, they, exactly. Just don't fight the trend. And just because we had a drop doesn't mean the trend's over. Yeah, no problem, Mark. Wish there was, right, wish I could actually do something live. And whenever, because in the next couple weeks, I'll actually be done at my job, and then I'll be here doing this full time. So I would like to do it live, because live feedback is always the best while markets are moving. I don't actually use VWAP. I don't even really use 1430 MA. All I really use at this point is volume and my Thandicator. That's pretty much it. But these crosses here are pretty interesting to look at. It's just like down here, there's a cross. It didn't come below. It closed below one of my trigger lines. And I'm like, oh, gold is definitely going to go now. But what if it doesn't? What if gold and dollar sinks after Monday and equities rise? I don't know. I don't know news. Thank you guys very much for participating and being here. And the Happy Father's Day things. Appreciate it. Appreciate you. And I look forward to doing this again sometime very soon. And also, if you need me, I'm on Twitter. I'm always very responsive to DMs. And if you go to perspectivetrading.com, you can find my blogs, some of my rules, which I need to update. Plenty of things on this site. If there's anything you need on it or would like on this site, that's awesome, dude. That's awesome that you're full-time. I'm really looking forward to it. Currently, we don't need the extra income from it, but all I would like to make from it a week, honestly, is $200 a week with a 2K account. That's very much possible, as long as I keep following my rules. I'm living the cheap life, and I'm living the dream. So, like, hands together. My contact on Twitter, you can message me, and then my Discord, it's not private anymore. I don't know why it says private, just because I haven't updated, that's why. But if you click it, it'll take you to the link to my Discord, and it's, I just go in there to kind of BS with the guys and try and see if we can come up with some profitable ideas. So feel free to join if you would like. And thank you for participating, blah, 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 all the stuff I already said. Thank you guys very much. Happy Father's Day, and goodbye.